This is Detective Recapped. Today I'm going to explain a comedy drama film called Saved. Spoilers ahead, watch out, and take care. Mary Cummings has always been a devout Christian. She believes that her spiritual rebirth happened when she was just 3, and that everything is a part of God's plan. Mary's father died when she was young, and her mother taught her that God has a reason for that too. Mary even tried joining her father in heaven, but it just wasn't her time yet. So while she's still here on earth, she makes sure to put Jesus at the center of her life. She's a member of the Christian Jewels, which is basically a girls' club for Jesus. Her mother, Lillian, is finally named the #1 Christian interior decorator in their whole region, and Mary couldn't be any happier for her. Mary is very much content with everything she has, especially because she believes she has the best Christian boyfriend, Dean. Everything has been going great for Mary so far, until 2 weeks before the end of summer vacation, when her life is changed forever. Mary and Dean have a silly game they like to play, where they tell each other secrets underwater. While playing this game one day, Dean tells Mary that he's gay. Shocked, Mary hits her head on the pool ladder and almost drowns. Dean slips before he can help her, so the long-haired lifeguard saves her instead. In confusion, Mary mistakes the lifeguard for Jesus, and she believes that he's telling her to do everything she can to help her boyfriend. Later that day, Mary assures her mother that she's okay. Lillian doesn't seem worried since she's away at the Christian Community Leaders Convention with Mary's school principal, Pastor Skip. Meanwhile, Mary contemplates whether Dean really is gay. According to Mary, Dean is an athlete who is constantly strengthening himself physically, creatively, and spiritually, so there's no way that he's gay. Mary thinks of ways to rid Dean of his quote-unquote toxic spiritual affliction, and she starts by always making out with him. However, this doesn't change anything, leaving Mary disheartened and conflicted. At a shooting range one day, Mary talks to her rich friend Hilary Faye and her paraplegic brother Roland about girls' purity. Hilary Faye tells her that even though a woman loses her virtue, Jesus can simply reverse that by giving her a pure heart. And just like that, Mary gets the idea of sleeping with Dean, which she does. As she starts her senior year, Mary feels confident that Jesus will restore her emotional and spiritual purity, even if her cherry's more than a little popped. Hilary Faye picks up Mary from home so they can go to school together, and she gives Mary a Christian Jewels pin to make her membership to their club official. They also pick up their other friend, Veronica. Hilary Faye gives her a pin, too, and they head next to Dean's house. There, Mary learns from Dean's parents that they found some gay adult magazines under his bed. So they sent him to the Mercy House, which is a Christian treatment facility that deals with substance abuse, alcoholism, homosexuality, and even unwed mothers. On their way to school, Mary shocks her friends by telling them Dean is gay, but Roland thinks it's not a big deal. At school, Hilary Faye mentions that they've never had anyone gay at American Eagle Christian High School. Her attitude about this worries Mary, so she makes her promise again that she won't tell anyone about it. As they talk, Cassandra Edelstein recklessly arrives in her car and almost hits them. She transferred to American Eagle the previous year, and with the rumors going around that she's an exotic dancer, everyone and their mothers want to save her, especially Hilary Faye. She approaches Cassandra and politely tells her that smoking is bad for her health, but the girl ignores her and even throws her cigarette at her. Annoyed, Hilary Faye checks Cassandra's car for a handicapped parking permit since her vehicle is in a handicapped parking space. However, instead of finding one, Hilary Faye sees a sticker that shows profanities next to another that says, "Jesus loves you." Irate, Hilary Faye removes the sticker before storming off. Hilary Faye takes Roland to his seat, and after she takes hers, one of their classmates, Tia, invites her and the other students to come over to her house. Before their class starts, their teacher introduces the new student and Pastor Skip's son, Patrick. He's been in South America doing missionary work with his mother, and he immediately catches Mary's attention. One day, Cassandra takes a break from watching the Christian Jewels musical performance in the auditorium. unaware that Roland has followed her. At first, Cassandra teases Roland for being in a wheelchair, but eventually sympathizes with him after learning he fell off a tree when he was 9. After the performance, Pastor Skip starts their prayer. Hilary Faye looks at Patrick while she prays, while Veronica thanks God for sparing her from eternal damnation. Tia begs to be a jewel. Cassandra wonders if Roland can still perform, and Roland is confident Cassandra likes him. Meanwhile, Patrick wishes for his father to spare him from humiliation, especially in front of Mary. As everyone continues to pray, Mary asks Jesus if he's already restored her purity while wondering why Dean is at Mercy House. Mary sees Patrick staring at her once she opens her eyes, and she feels embarrassed when he smiles at her. Pastor Skip then asks for volunteers who wants to recommit themselves to the Lord, and as students go to the stage, Cassandra makes a scene. She starts speaking in tongues to make everyone believe she's speaking God's love language. But the truth is, she's just shouting indecencies. After Hilary Faye reveals what Cassandra is actually saying, the girl is bolstered straight to legendary status at school. Still, Cassandra doesn't get expelled, and the more she acts out, the more Hilary Faye wants to save her. On the other hand, Roland finds her amusing. Meanwhile, Patrick starts showing interest in Mary, but Hilary Faye subtly tries to take his attention away from her friend. Later that day, Patrick joins the Jewels at the food court, where they see Cassandra making another scene. Hilary Faye urges her to join them, but she ends up scolding Roland when he accidentally spills some dip on her. A drunken Cassandra immediately comes to Roland's aid, asking him to leave with her, but Hilary Faye won't let them. Cassandra continues to make a ruckus, and Hilary Faye is quick to join Patrick in taking her home. During PE class, Hilary Faye notices how Mary looks at Patrick, so she reminds her that Jesus is watching her. After some time, Mary starts experiencing morning sickness, and she later confirms that she is pregnant through a pregnancy test. One school day, Mary tells her mother not to wear something revealing for her leadership meeting, but Lillian won't listen to her. Mary then goes to school, where she learns from Tia that Hilary Faye is hosting a prayer meeting at her house for Dean's homosexuality. Mary is disappointed that Hilary broke her promise, but Hilary Faye believes that that's the only way to help Dean. Meanwhile, Roland leaves with Cassandra to get some smokes, and the two go downtown where they flirt with each other. Cassandra tells Roland she's not really an exotic dancer, adding that she chose attending American Eagle over homeschooling despite being Jewish. As they talk, Cassandra and Roland see Mary taking a bus from the building of Planned Parenthood, and Cassandra says there's only one reason why Mary is there. Roland doesn't really understand Cassandra, but when he says he needs to go home, she kisses him. From downtown, Mary passes by a church to let out some steam by cursing like a sailor. She then heads to Hilary Faye's house, where she finds all of her friends there. Hilary Faye urges Mary to pray with them, but this only pushes Mary into an outburst. She's frustrated about how she did everything she could for Dean, but he still ended up in Mercy House. In her anger, Mary asserts that Jesus isn't listening to them, prompting Hilary Faye to remove her jewel pin before kicking her out of the house. Mary quickly returns home and finds her mother in the kitchen, who tells her that she just finished talking to Hilary Faye about their fight. After talking about Dean, Mary asks her if she'll send her to the Mercy House too, but Lillian says she'll never do that. Unconvinced, Mary still decides to keep her pregnancy a secret from her. Later on, Mary calls Dean, asking if he'll be out of Mercy House before prom since she'll give birth around that time, and Dean is optimistic that he will be. As days go by, Hilary Faye becomes more annoyed with Roland and Cassandra's relationship, while Tia finally becomes a jewel. Meanwhile, Mary tries to keep to herself, but when Cassandra finds her in the library, she tells her that she and Roland saw her sneaking out of the clinic. Mary quickly lies, saying she was there to distribute some pamphlets before leaving. Meanwhile, Pastor Skip informs Hilary Faye that he's concerned about Mary, asking to help him guide Mary back to her faith. Later that day, the Jewels grab Mary and tries to exorcise her. They keep accusing Mary of being a magnet for sin, so Hilary Faye reminds her that Jesus loves her. However, Mary infuriates Hilary Faye by telling her she doesn't know anything about love. Enraged, Hilary Faye throws her Bible at Mary, telling her she's just jealous of her success with the Lord. But Mary retorts that a Bible is not a weapon. As Mary walks home, Patrick arrives and takes her in his Vespa. He then tells Mary that he doesn't think that Dean is sick and that he only attended Hilary Faye's prayer meeting because he thought she'd be there. When Patrick drops Mary home, he asks her to go out with him sometime, adding that it will only annoy Hilary Faye. But Mary says she's not dating at the moment. Mary continues to drift away from her friends, and she even starts wearing baggy clothes to hide her growing bump. However, her tactic doesn't fool Cassandra, so Mary finally admits that she's carrying Dean's child. Cassandra tells her she can't do it on her own, but Mary insists she can. Mary feels foolish because she thought she was helping Dean, so Cassandra just comforts her. To cheer Mary up, Cassandra and Roland take her shopping using Hilary Faye's credit card. After that, Mary tells Cassandra that she turned down Patrick's invitation to go out with him, and Cassandra thinks that she made a mistake. Mary feels uncomfortable since she's pregnant, and Patrick is the pastor's son, but Cassandra doesn't see that as an issue. Then Mary asks Cassandra if it bothers her that Roland can't walk, and Cassandra simply says that that's not a problem as long as they understand each other. As they talk, Hilary Faye and Patrick arrive, and Hilary Faye once again tells Cassandra to accept Jesus in her heart. Suddenly, Cassandra gets the idea of distracting Hilary Faye by saying she funnily wants to join them, so Mary and Patrick can sneak away. Patrick then explains to Mary that he just bumped into Hilary Faye there, and she's helping him choose last-minute Christmas gifts. He then takes Mary to a staff room where they can see some Christmas decorations. There, Patrick confesses to Mary, saying that he likes her and that she amazes him. The two are about to kiss when their chair suddenly moves, embarrassing Mary. She then apologizes to Patrick, saying he's not her type, and though Patrick doesn't believe her, he lets her leave. Back at school, Cassandra tells Hilary Faye that she's changed her mind about accepting Jesus in her life. On Valentine's Day, Hilary Faye gives Patrick a letter, while Mary decides against giving hers. At Patrick's house, Pastor Skip tells his son that Mary's been going through so much, and the last thing she needs is a relationship. However, Patrick refuses to listen to a man who can't even save his own marriage. Meanwhile, Lillian and Pastor Skip take their relationship to the next level, even though the pastor feels he's turning away from Christ's teachings. Pastor Skip also encourages Patrick to engage in more school activities, so he'll stop thinking about dating Mary. After Cassandra gets in yet another one of her meaningless fights with Hilary, Mary happily shows Cassandra and Roland a sonogram of her baby girl. With Mary wondering how Hilary Faye can be so pretty on the outside but ugly on the inside, Roland reveals that she used to be overweight. He even shows her her old photos. Cassandra and Roland take the photo album to school, but they don't tell Mary what they'll do with it. There, Hilary Faye baits Cassandra into cursing her out, only to reveal that she's recorded her crude language through a recorder. She immediately takes the recording to Pastor Skip, so Cassandra and Mary are put on work detail. Meanwhile, Hilary Faye gets jealous when Patrick asks Mary to the prom. Later on, Hilary Faye sees her old photos on every monitor at the computer lab, and she angrily tells Pastor Skip she's sure that Cassandra and Mary are behind it. However, the pastor won't do anything unless she gives him proof. The next day, Cassandra and Mary are accused of vandalizing the school after tin cans of spray paint are found in their lockers, and Hilary Faye happily watches them from afar. Worst of all, Mary's pregnancy is finally discovered through the sonogram there. She tries to reason with her mother and Pastor Skip, insisting that it happened because Jesus told her to save Dean, so she tried her best to. Still, Pastor Skip reduces Mary's plight to his and Lillian's punishment for their affair. He advises Lillian to take Mary to Mercy House, even warning that he'll stop seeing her if she doesn't. As for Cassandra, she angrily leaves the school after getting expelled, with Roland failing to stop her. Everyone tries to move on with their lives after the discovery of Mary's pregnancy, while Mary, Cassandra, and Roland get banned from prom. Eventually, Cassandra and Roland reconcile as she joins him for a smoke, and he tells her he wants to do something. Despite Mary's protests, Lillian arranges to take her to Mercy House, all while Hilary Faye prepares for prom. That night, Roland calls Mary and asks her to meet him and Cassandra downtown. They are already dressed for prom, and Cassandra shows Mary the dress she got for her. Worried, Mary says Hilary Faye will call the cops if they show up there. But Roland assures her that she won't, since he found the receipts for the cans of spray paint his sister used at school, which should be enough to clear their name. Roland then tells Mary they have one more surprise for her, and that's when Patrick arrives in a limousine. True to his feelings, the boy tells Mary it doesn't matter to him that she's pregnant before kissing her. Meanwhile, the Jules attend the prom without dates. Hilary Faye is also irritated because she learned that Roland has been using her credit card. Before getting out of the van, Tia finds a receipt for spray paints under the seats but doesn't say a word about it. At home, Lillian finally realizes that Mary is gone. Mary, Patrick, Cassandra, and Roland attend the prom together, leaving the students wondering why they're there. Everyone tries to enjoy the event, but Hilary Faye's night gets ruined upon seeing Mary and Patrick together. Hilary Faye then tries to have Mary and Co. kicked out of the premises, but Roland and Tia show everyone the receipt for the spray paint, which contains Hilary Faye's signature. With the truth out in the open, Veronica ends her friendship with Hilary Faye too, and Pastor Skip politely asks her to leave. Humiliated, Hilary Faye starts throwing a fit, asserting that she designed everything for their prom while her father donated their refreshments. She also adds that she's just doing all of that because Jesus told her to, before finally storming off. Roland and Cassandra try to go after her, while kids from Mercy House, including Dean, suddenly arrives to gatecrash the prom. Though Dean's surprised to learn that Mary is pregnant, he's equally glad too. Dean also introduces his boyfriend to Mary, and they all feel happy for each other. However, Pastor Skip ruins the moment when he asks Dean and his company to leave. Dean insists on staying, saying he has every right to attend their prom, but the pastor says there's no room for moral ambiguity there. Patrick and Mary also tries to talk some sense to Pastor Skip, with Mary reminding him that no one fits in 100% all the time. Dean says he knows in his heart that Jesus still loves him, and Mary asks Pastor Skip why God would make them all so different if he wanted them to be the same. Before the pastor could answer, Hilary Faye recklessly drives her van around the parking lot and crashes into the school's effigy of Jesus. Roland and Cassandra rush to her aid, but Hilary Faye is luckily unharmed. After throwing another fit, Hilary Faye ends up apologizing to her brother. Meanwhile, Mary goes into labor, and Lillian arrives just in time to join her daughter in the ambulance. Mary gives birth to a baby girl, bringing joy to everyone around them. Pastor Skip even visits the hospital, but he just remains outside while he contemplates whether he should go in or not. As Mary looks at her daughter, she promises herself that she'll figure life out together with the people she loves.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.